Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, welcome. Yeah. So just a reminder to everyone in the audience to please adhere to the rules and listen to the mods at Sonic Revolution. Blah, I'm tripping over my words. Without further ado, so G, can you introduce yourself for us?
Oh, awesome. Well, I am G, aka G to the next level. Like welcome to the next level. No lovely Sega logo, but with the G, like me. I am an all-purpose content creator. It's mostly Sega focused, but obviously, I love of a certain blue hedgehog since 1991 and his friends. And all of his friends too. And basically that's what I do. I do YouTube, I do Twitch, I do Instagram, I do TikTok, all of which have a unique different flair. So on YouTube, basically I do retro game reviews, I do lists, I'm doing an entire series called Growing Up Genesis, where I'm covering the entire Sega Genesis library, North American, in mostly alphabetical order through stream, but always in alphabetical order on YouTube. From A to Z. Woo! And I also have conducted several different panel Q&As and interviews with Sonic voice actors. So lots and lots of stuff on the YouTube channel. Twitch, I basically do that 4 days a week through Growing Up Genesis, or we'll do Sonic and Sega stuff like I'm doing Sonic Rumble this weekend. And Instagram and TikTok, I find like some of the strangest and weirdest Sonic merch that you can find on the store, tell you where you can find it, and offer good tips on how, to properly collect for Sonic. So, yeah.
Ooh, that is really awesome. You are juggling a lot of stuff. That is very impressive. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So, my first question is, what made you interested in the Sonic franchise?
Ooh, so I think I have to go all the way back to 91. So when I was first really introduced to Sonic, I remembered seeing, because I was a big reader of video game magazines back in the day. I read GamePro, I read EGM. Like, I was big into all the Electronic Gaming Monthly. And I was, of course, I didn't start off with Sega. So I was into stuff like Super Mario and all that beforehand. So I already had a love for platformers. And so when the advertisements for Sonic came around, I was like, ooh, who is this? Oh, he is fast. He is cool. Oh, this looks awesome. But it also helps that, so my dad and I used to play games together. We used to go bowling. My mom and dad used to go bowling. And in this bowling alley, they had an arcade that I guess either the arcade owner either loved Sega, or they were just had a partnership with Sega or something like that, but they had all the arcade games. So they had Altered Beast, they had Space Harrier, they had Outrun, they literally had all of it. And so when it was time to get a new game console on when it came to the Genesis, my parents were like, should we get one, should we not? So when Sonic came around, that was kind of my extra little push to say, hey, I really want Sonic. Can we get Sonic? And it also helped that Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf came out, because my dad's a golfer, so that kind of greased the wheels a little bit. And I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. And then, of course, with I wanted to literally consume everything Sonic. So I read the comic, I watched the shows, anything that could possibly come around. And just ever since, I've just been a diehard fan.
Yeah, that's really great. Glitch, do you want to ask the next question?
Sure. Let's see. Let's come up with a really interesting one. Yes. From one Sega addict to another. This is very important.
I like this is starting.
Okay. So, in terms of collecting for Sonic merchandise, as you know, there's a lot of different types of merchandise out there, memorabilia. There's the plushies, the figurines, there's the posters, everything. There's even silverware that might as well be Sonic themed in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yep.
We've seen it. So I've gotta ask, to date, what is the strangest piece of memorabilia you have?
Oh,
the strangest piece of memorabilia. That's a tough one, because there have been a lot of really strange pieces. I think probably it's hard for me to name one, but I can think of a few off the top of my head. Probably one of the most ones is that little guy right there, this plush right here. In fact, I'll grab him and show him to you. This is a movie plush. This plush is like a throw pillow style. So he's a little. So if you notice, look at his hands, look at his flat hands on the stomach and everything. I love this goofy little plush.
Oh God,
his little spikes. This is an official plush. That's the crazy thing.
Beautiful.
when I made the video about this, people didn't think it was real. They're just like, "Oh, this gotta be like a fan may want to." No, this is real. You can walk into a Target and buy one.
Beautiful.
Like at that
That
time.
is so
absolutely
funny.
beautiful.
That or a Sonic loofah. There's a Sonic loofah out there that
No
has his
Oh
face
my
on it.
god.
Yep.
That's terrifying. It's so many
That
aspects.
is crazy.
Why?
I know,
Being
right?
super
It's just like
said this needs to be more Sonic.
right. I'm shocked there isn't a
Loofah.
Shadow one yet, but there will be. There will
Oh,
be.
there
I'm
sure will
calling
be.
it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Loofah,
calling
no,
it.
but
absolutely.
big and blue. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to
Yeah.
have the scrubby brush. That's the shadow scrubby brush.
Yeah.
But there's so many. I think one, I didn't actually get this one because unfortunately I kind of hit my budget for the day, but there's a scooter that I found at like a DD's discount that the way that the scooter was done, like typical scooters, you've got like the base where you control wherever you're turning and you pedal with your feet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
right where above that is like kind of like a hood ornament is Sonic's head, and it's like just
Oh,
like the
God.
body, no arms, just his
Oh,
head
God.
and his
I
torso
hate that.
on the top. I was like, what?
That's a Frankenstein object. That is a cursed relic.
That is
You have
terrible.
You have to get it to save other people. You have to lock it behind the key.
If
That
I see
is
it again,
terrifying.
Yes. You
if I
have
see
to
it
grab
again, I probably will grab it. I do have big regrets that I didn't grab that.
I need to know it's real, but it's also at a safe location. away
Right.
We
from
need
others.
to do a video on that. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like,
See the
whoa,
tension.
okay.
Whoa.
That's insane.
But it's amazing, and especially because like it's so humbling now as a Sonic fan. I say this like all the time, and people ask like, this could possibly be the greatest age to be. Actually, no, possibly it is the greatest age to be a Sonic fan. And there's so many entries of being able to get into the franchise, and part of it is the fact that you can find Sonic stuff at your gas station. Like you can go into a gas station, you can find Sonic stuff now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
5-6 years ago, I would have never imagined that. Like, but now it's like I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Absolutely.
You find a lot of
crazy.
interesting stuff in arcades too nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
really random stuff that you wouldn't see regularly in like a store, even a toy store. You would
Yep.
find really random like Sonic themed items just sitting in an arcade.
This plush right over here, this
Mhm.
red plush, this big. In fact, I'll bring it to you. This head plush you see over here. This
Hooray.
one is a prize gift from I believe he got it. I couldn't remember if it was Dave and Buster's or if it was
It's
Main
the
Event
tie-dye
that he got it at. This
ones,
tie-dye
yes.
colored
Are they
Sonic
not the
head
coolest
plush.
thing
Like you can
ever,
get
though?
this at like an arcade. So you never know. You always want to go check the redemption area
Yeah.
because you never know. You'll
Mhm.
find some of the strangest stuff. Most of these
Yeah.
Toy Factory, I think.
Mhm,
I believe
mhm.
it's Toy Factory.
Yeah, the tie-dye Sonic
Toy
plushies,
Factory.
they usually show up in arcades and they are so fun looking. They're
Mhm.
so pretty. The leather
Yeah.
ones too. They have leather
Yes.
plushies now.
They look
of
so
them.
cool. Wow.
Mhm.
Super heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think we should move on to our next question. So, do you have any channels that you watch that give you inspiration? If so, who do you watch?
Ooh, okay. So most of my inspirational channels really come from like my retro gaming side, because that's really where I first started 8 years ago when I first started doing YouTube. When I wasn't nearly as, I mean, Sonic always had the flair there because my second video was my Sonic collection video that exploded and got like 100,000 views, which was amazing.
Oh, that's crazy.
It all really kind of stemmed from retro gaming. So a lot of the inspirational channels I watch are stuff like Game Sack, John Riggs. I was gonna say Triple Jump, but they're about to close their channel, unfortunately. Best of luck to them.
Yeah.
But channels like that are really the ones that kind of help me spur my way into, hey, this is kind of what I want to do in creating.
Yeah.
So those are the main ones. And then, but most of my Sonic content that I watch is through Twitch. Like most of the Sonic content I watch streamers like Brent Zone, Jessadel, and
buddy Brent.
Emmy Divergent. Yes, it's like people like that I always find to see. It's like I want to try to, because when you're a creator, you always want to, okay, I would like to do stuff similar to that, but I also want to mold it and form it my way. Kind of like another YouTuber, his name was Frame Raider. He always did like a console library series where he would pick like small libraries and he would go from there. And he started doing a GameCube all collection, but he stopped because he's like, oh, this is so much work, and then I totally understand.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got my idea. Between him and a streamer I know named Hysteric Moon, I kind of combined both of their ideas together, and that's how I came up with Growing Up Genesis. to do like the A to Z. And we are
That's
now,
awesome.
I've been doing it for 2 years on Twitch. We're now on the letter R. So we're getting there.
Progress.
That is
We're getting there.
fantastic.
That's a lot of fun. And it's literally my favorite thing that I do is coming up with ideas like that, being able to go through the entire library. I've never seen this game. I've never heard this game. Oh, I love this game. And I love getting that feedback back especially because a lot of these games I've not played for a very, very long time, right? And like a long time. So it's good to get that refresher in, right? And sometimes you love it more, sometimes you don't, but that's the beauty of it all. And then with Sonic, I've got another little sub-series that I kind of got, and here's where I got the inspiration for this. Like I got a little sub-series that I call the worst Sonic game, where it's not necessarily saying that this is the worst game, but I'm picking out a handful of lists that I've curated between either my own personal thoughts, people I've read online, people I've seen online, or my own community, like my own chat and whatnot. I've said, hey, these are some of the worst, and I've compiled a list, and it's going to be a short form review series on each one, and then I'm ranking it to see which one truly is the worst. I actually kind of got a little bit of that from a YouTuber. His name is Matt McMuscles. So he makes awesome. Oh, I love Matt McMuscles. I love his channel. His so good. So the worst fighting game. It's kind of a little bit of that, a little bit of my growing up Genesis, and then there's another channel by the name of Marky D, who I'm also into wrestling. He's a wrestling channel who has something similar to that, and I kind of took all of those ideas and then again put my own little spin on it, and that's how the worst Sonic game came to be. So, but that one has not started on YouTube yet. I started it on Twitch, but I haven't started it on YouTube yet. So that hopefully will be soon. Question mark?
Yeah, let's
we'll
hope.
See.
Question mark?
No, I mean, it will happen. It's just, will it be soon?
Yeah, soon. Yeah. But yeah, Glitch, do you have any questions?
I heard wrestling fan in there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a wrestling fan?
I like the graps.
Oh man, favorite. Okay, I gotta know favorite era wrestling. What was your go-to?
Favorite era. That's hard. That's hard because the thing is that my gut wants to say like Attitude Era, but it kind of isn't.
That makes sense.
Mainly because I was like, it wasn't so much the WWF side, but it was like the WCW side that I was interested in.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
That's really where that kind of came down to. But it's like either that or where. I guess like the Hulkamania, even though Hulk Hogan, whatever. But like that whole era, that was really where I got started, right? But what's funny is this that I fell out of it for so long until WrestleMania 25. So I'm in Houston, right? And so WrestleMania 25 rolls around, was here in Houston. My then girlfriend, but now wife of 12 years, Ron Chan, my wonderful wife. Almost 12 years. It will be 12 years in 3 weeks. Woo! But yeah, so there was this one day, like her and her family had tickets to go to WrestleMania 25, and her mom decided that she did not want to go. So she had the extra ticket. She called me while I was at work, and because I was working at a retail job at the time, and she called me. She's like, "Hey, my mom decided not to go to WrestleMania. Do you want to go? Can you get off work early?" And so I told my boss, "It's like, hey, is it possible?" And he's like, "No, you go, man." It's like, you go. And so I went, and I hadn't watched in so long, so I had no idea what was happening. All I knew was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. So it's like, and John Cena.
Oh my god!
So it's like I knew them. So I was opened back up to it. And then, so my wife and I started watching it more and more after that. And so I got back in. I got back in because of that. So,
completely understandable.
That's one of my favorite things to do with her. So, yep.
Watch wrestling. That's so cute. I love that for you. I really do.
It's so funny because like when you see it, because like I said, she streams with me every now and then, and because she's also a streamer, but sometimes we do what's known as couples collab or couples clash, depending on the game, where we're against each other or going with each other. Because what I am to Sonic, she is to Pokemon. What you don't see on the other side of this wall.
Lovely.
I love Pokemon.
Pokemon's
so great.
So what you don't see on the other side of this wall is her Pokemon collection, and it's pretty vast. So
that's really great.
A split fandom room, the dream.
That's
it's
like
how,
the dream. Yeah.
It's like how would it be, right? It's like a Sega person, a Nintendo person, and they come together. That's
Why
magic.
not
Truly
both?
love does bloom on a
Exactly.
battlefield. Thank God.
Yeah.
Exactly. I say that all the time. I'm like, look, I love Sega, but I also love Nintendo. It's like, why not both,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I love the Nintendo Switch. This thing is it's my favorite console right now. I love the Switch.
Gotcha.
So it's like,
Yeah,
yep.
that's great. I
Understandable.
have a Switch too. I mean, not the Switch
Yeah.
2, but like
Right. They'd be like,
I
hey, you need to
understand.
give me that hookup, Vibripple, if you already got yourself a Switch too.
So many people couldn't get it. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That
so
night
many
was a
people.
nightmare.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am sticking with my Switch one. So yeah,
Same.
I'm so
I
excited for
understand.
Tomodachi Life. I'm just saying that right now.
Oh yeah.
Understandable.
So
Understandable.
I have never played Tomodachi Life. And every
You
time I watch somebody
should.
play it looks so fun. Because I love
It
Animal
is
Crossing.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
So-
fun. It's like The Sims, but like Nintendo. Yeah, it's great. It's so quirky.
Nice.
It is. The only thing they don't tell you is that it very much is a simulator without your input, though, because a lot of the time things kind of happen
Yeah.
around you, but it
Right.
takes a while for things to happen
It's
around you.
RNG the game.
It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of
Right.
waiting. It might as well be an idle game, in all honesty. Just leave your
So-
DS somewhere and wait for a while.
So kind of like, are you familiar with Seaman on the Sega Dreamcast? Are you familiar with that?
Let's go.
So, like that, maybe?
Legends.
So the end game for my A to Z, once Genesis is done, my end game is to do every Sega console. So we'll do Sega CD, we'll do 32X, we'll do Saturn, we'll do Master System if we have time. We'll do Pico if I can finish the collection. But then once
Okay,
we get
nice.
to Dreamcast, because I know the question I get a lot is that when you get to Dreamcast, how are you going to do Seaman? And I'm like, because
Yeah.
Seaman is something that you
Yeah.
have to do daily. So I'm
Yep.
not 100% sure how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll start like the first 30 minutes will be Seaman, and then we can move on to whatever game it is and kind
Maybe
of
a
go from there.
multi-parter?
So
Hmm.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The
Yeah.
most time-consuming Tamagotchi because
Yeah.
like, that needs your input
Yes.
constantly.
Yes.
Temperature, food, and then when it goes into the larval stage, managing with the water spray on the humidity within their cage and communicating with them. It's a lot. And you
Yep.
can easily
Yippee.
accidentally, damage them badly if you don't take care
Yep.
of them properly. And they'll
Yep.
let you know. They're
Oh,
real quick
absolutely.
to sass you.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're great though. Fantastic game though. It
we
really
can,
is.
we can all
really
use
funny.
a little Leonard Nimoy in our lives. So it's like we
Real
can all use a little
though.
Nimoy.
So
yeah.
true.
Real. Yeah. But anyways, so I do have a question. We have 10 more minutes before I might turn it over to some audience questions.
Sure.
So, I know earlier you were talking about the worst Sonic game. What is your favorite Sonic game?
Favorite?
Yes.
Sonic 2.
Yep.
Sonic 2 on Genesis.
Thank you. I love it.
I don't think that game will
Yeah.
ever get topped for my favorite for Sonic,
No.
because to me,
Ah.
if there's only one other game on this entire earth, no matter what platform, no matter what time of gaming year it is, I don't think there is a better example of how to make a sequel than Sonic 2.
Mhm.
Like literally to me, every
Oh.
single thing has improved. The gameplay, the level designs, I think are a lot better. Of course, you've got Tails, you've got the better bonus stages. It's like the perfect momentum. It's the perfect length, perfect boss battles. I'm just like,
Yeah.
And it's one of those games, and we all have these games where, like, once you start playing it, provided it's not like something like Skyrim or something like that, right? If we're talking
Right,
like
right.
retro games, retro games that you could beat in like a couple of hours or something like that. It is one of those games that, like, once you are into it, you cannot stop. And it's just for me in Sonic 2. It's like once I start a game of Sonic 2, it's over. It's done. I gotta finish it. Nothing's
That's
stopping me.
That's awesome.
That's like me with
Nothing's stopping me
Katamari.
finish it.
Once
Oh,
I start a
Katamari.
stage, yeah, Katamari.
Yes.
Let's
yeah.
go.
I'm a
It's
fan.
like once you start a stage, you need to keep rolling.
Yep. You
Yeah,
keep,
no.
I see what you did there. I see what you did
Understanding
there.
your pun. Got it.
Yeah, but yeah. Glitch, do you want to ask a question and then we can turn it over to the audience for a bit?
Sure. One, so happy about that answer because Sonic 2 was my first ever Sonic game ever.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
and I was little when I played it and I fell in love with it immediately. So I'm glad to have followed the franchise since like the best sequel ever. But let's see, a really, really good one. It's got to be good before we give it to the masses.
Yeah, hit me with the tough questions. That's what I'm here for. And with a good level of juice. We're talking like a medium rare level of juice in that question.
Yeah,
That's
medium
what I like, that's what I like my steak, by the
grilled
way.
to
So
perfection. It needs to be tough. But
it's not
worth it.
well done. It's congratulations.
It's very good job.
nice.
Very good
Very
job.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've got a really good one. And I might be taking a book out of something else, but being a content creator for as long as you've been doing it for, it's very easy to see how extremely passionate you are about the projects that you're involved in, whether it be with other people or with yourself, from interviewing voice actors to going through all of the games that you've gone through, showing off the memorabilia, doing the streams, all that stuff, which is extremely impressive, and kudos to you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. One person that also goes on the grind to another. I very much am.
Yep, and indeed, it is a grind. You're absolutely right.
It really is.
A grind. So all that said, it sometimes can definitely wear on you in a lot of ways, because we very much want to put the best content out there. But we also want to make sure that we're having fun with it too.
Yeah.
And that can be really difficult for a lot of people. You can be as passionate as you want to be, but it doesn't mean that you are invincible to burnout.
Yeah,
so
burnout is the worst.
The best question that I can ask you, which I think a lot of people sometimes have on their mind for somebody who does it for so long, how do you keep yourself motivated on the passion projects that you do?
Oh, that's a good one.
Very good question. So I think the first thing that I would say is have a clear goal. It's like that's one of the things, like it's one of the reasons why with growing up Genesis, like I have a clear goal. It's like a clear goal is to finish the story. Wrestling chat. It's like finish it from going in from A to Z. And when you have a clear goal, it makes it a lot easier to move forward. If you know, like you have an idea, like one of the best things that I ever did when I started streaming, because like for a lot of people that I know start streaming, there's like, oh, I'm not sure, what to play or what to do or what people are going to like and all that kind of stuff. And, right. But the majority of the time, the people that are flocking and navigating to you are there for you and your personality.
Yeah.
It's about you first and about what you're doing second. Granted, what you're doing is important.
Exactly.
It is very important. So whenever, as you say, you find that something that you're that passionate about, as long as you have like, okay, well, I want to do this, even it doesn't have to be like 20 different steps. It could just be like, I want to finish Sonic Frontiers on stream or something like that. As long as you have like a clear goal, it helps a lot. But there's a couple of things that I typically will say. It's like, how do you keep that flame going? Because I'll be honest with you, there are times things are rough where there have even been some times that I felt like I've wanted to walk away. Like it's happened, right? It has happened. But there are a few things that I keep in my mind that to say, well, no, the thing is that as long as you continue to have the fire and the passion to do it, keep going and go at the pace that is the best for you. Especially because, like, as being a creator, one of the biggest pressures is, trying to be consistent, but also trying to have good quality, which is one of the reasons why I love streaming. Because, you can be having that good, consistent quality and to keep going, but at the same time, staying passionate and staying true. So, I probably say, really, out of anything, listen to your good feedback from people. Have like a good confidence to show your videos to. Like, I wouldn't be doing this here if it weren't for my wife, if it weren't for Ron Sean. She is my number one confidence. She is my agent, she is my manager, she is my CFO, all in one. And the love of my life. If it weren't for her, I would not be doing this right now. Just period. And she is the one, like, there are times when I have been at like a mental low and I go to her and she's just like, I believe in you, keep going. And that is one of the best things to have, right? But I think between that, clear goals, and also too, and I can't stress this enough, whether you're YouTubing or you're streaming or anything like that, have a game or an activity that you do on the side that you have zero interest in making any content on. Like none. Do something that way you have an extra creative outlet, or at least a mental outlet, that you say, okay, well, I don't have, like, Animal Crossing is one of my biggest ones. I don't have any interest in doing Animal Crossing videos or content, but I love the game so much, and it's a good way to just relax and get it out, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love Animal Crossing.
Love that.
I've heard so many times for people that I talk to, especially streamers that I talk to, and I'm like, well, what other games are you playing? It's like, just what I'm doing on stream. I'm like, take the time to, even if it's something small, even if it's something like, take the time to play something that you have no interest in doing any content about, because that extra pressure is gone at that point. You're free to do whatever you want. So and it feels good.
I always have the urge to like turn every game I play into content, and sometimes it can get exhausting. So sometimes I just need to pick up a game that I am doing on stream and just play it off stream, because then I don't have the pressure of people watching me. I don't have the pressure to do all these things, and I can just take stuff at my own pace. And I think that's great.
You can. I know, because that's one of the things with growing up Genesis A to Z. Because another question I get with that all the time is, are you planning to beat every game? No. I know somebody who is doing that quest, and I'm like, I can't do that. But there are times when I'll play the game on stream and I'll talk about it, but then I'll play it off stream afterwards. Like, there's a game like on Genesis called Aerobiz. It is a airplane management simulator. On paper, that sounds super boring. But then I played it off stream. Your brother would like it? Nice.
Yeah,
but then I played it off stream just to capture some footage and to make the little clip I wanted to for the YouTube video. And I wound up playing it for 6 hours. And then I loved it. And I was like, this game is awesome. So you never know. So per your point, Ripple, sometimes you get a different perspective. Playing something that you are streaming off stream, you get a different perspective. You feel a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Right. Well, let's turn it over to the audience questions. G, who do you want to call up to the stage? People who have their hands raised, or people who have questions?
Okay. How about LJ the Hedgehog? I like that name, and I like that icon. I see them raising their hands. So let's bring them up there.
Yeah. Let's have them come up. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking our icon. I just made it yesterday.
Huh?
Awesome.
So I have been watching you for a while now. You're one of the main collection YouTubers that I watch, other than Treasure Hunter Sonic.
Which who I also know, good buddy of mine. Good old Justin, much love to you. Yeah.
So my question is, since you've been a fan of the franchise for how long exactly?
Since 91, since the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Wow. That long is impressive.
It must be a major honor to be able to meet some of the cast members of the franchise, like David Humphrey, Ryan Drummond, all amazing people. Actually, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And actually, my question has regard your collection. What is your favorite item in your collection, or your most expensive item, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
Expensive item, I'm going to have to think about for a minute, because the thing is that whenever I collect stuff, I don't really think about the values afterwards. So I have to really think about that later on. But as far as my favorite item in my collection, it's my Cal Toys plush, my original Sonic Cal Toys plush from 1992.
Aww.
That is.
I have one as well, actually. I have one as well.
Nice. So the story behind that one, not only is it prized because it was one of the first Sonic items I ever got, just period, but also because of how I won it. I won it through, there was a contest for the local station here that was doing an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog trivia contest. You know, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog TV series. So they were like, hey, there was a question that was after each episode, Monday through Friday. You had to answer the questions, and then you mailed it into the station, and if you got picked, you got a prize pack. And I won. I got picked, and one of the gifts on that was that plush. So, yep, it was a plush, it was a balloon, it was a set of temporary tattoos. Unfortunately, I cannot find those tattoos to save my life. So I know I didn't use them. I know I didn't. So I think in some move somewhere they got lost, misplaced. But and then the Sonic RC car, like the one that does the wheelies and everything, and it came with all that. But that plush is still to this day my favorite piece in my collection. I have since, because I did not get the tails back then. I have since got the tails. So I do have the matching tails for it now.
Yay,
For your second question, as far as most expensive, I'm honestly not sure. I think maybe my Sonic Generations Collector's Edition, the one from the UK, because I know that's a little bit pricier.
That one was definitely pricey.
Or possibly because, again, I haven't checked to see how much it's worth now. but I'm sure it's gone up quite a bit. My movie poster for Sonic 1 that's signed by the entire cast. It was
Oh,
it was an
nice.
official poster that was numbered with Paramount, and I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching an eBay auction for it, and I got it for I think I got it for $40. It's like
That is a
$40
huge
bucks.
deal.
Not
And
bad. That's pretty good.
I think it's worth like, if I have to guess anything, it's got to be worth at least a couple of hundred now, maybe if anything.
Oh.
I think those are probably my most expensive pieces of my collection. I would have to say.
Thank you very much
Ah.
for calling me up here. It was such an honor to meet you, G to the next level, and I hope to see more wonderful content from you in the future. You guys have a good rest of your evening or day, depending on where you are.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Have a
you have a
good
good
time.
one too.
You keep enjoying it,
Yeah.
I'll keep making it. So thank you.
All right. Bye.
Oh, I guess I didn't
Yeah.
mention my Build-A-Bear Shadow probably for now, but I'm hoping he goes down in price, please. Please. I hope that
expensive.
yes, I really
I'm
hope
a
that
proud owner.
please
and
reprint
he's
him.
very expensive. I got him day one as a gift.
Mhm.
Because the movie was coming out that day, so he also dropped like the day before, and a friend of mine was just like, hey, I know you're like, you're really excited for this, so he got to come to the movie with me, the
Oh,
Shadow Plush.
nice.
So we got a hoodie for him, we had like the little glasses for him and everything, and literally a couple of days after, he sold out completely, and I was just like, oh, I hope they restock. And then I looked at the price and I was just like,
Yup.
why is he going for $500 now? What's
I
happening?
think because
Oh.
I've stopped by Build-A-Bear like quite a few times. Well, mainly because like the last few times I did, because I didn't have the tails, I wound up getting the tails to a trade. And I went through just to restuff and to recharge the batteries, like to change the batteries for the voice boxes. Every time I've actually gone through, I've asked them, have y'all heard anything about a restock of Shadow, like anything at all? And they always say no. And one of them has even
No.
said is like that you didn't hear it from them or however, but they said that there is a possibility that in that particular time frame, this was months ago, that Build-A-Bear might have lost the license and they have to renew it. Which fun fact about this guy, fun fact about him, because I was wondering why whenever I actually had his voice box put in, why they didn't put it in his hand like they normally put him in his hand. Apparently they made a mistake in the diameter in his arms, that there's not enough stuffing to thread the voice box through there. So that's why they weren't able to do that. So that's why his
So
voice
now they're
box
in the
is up
stomach.
here. Yeah, that's why he's in the stomach. And I wonder if maybe that might be a factor too. Maybe they're going in and re-engineering that. So like it's possible. But it also makes me wonder and worry that by the time that they figure that out or get it redone, it's Sonic 4 time. And he'll probably
Yeah.
get another reprint at that point. If they're smart, they will.
Hey,
There are
but
already
you do
two
have a
waves
first
of him too.
You do
I
have
do,
a first
yeah.
edition. You do have a first edition Shadow Build-A-Bear, so yay!
Let's
That's gotta
go,
count for
first
something.
edition holders. Let's
Yep.
go.
That was a
Yay!
pure luck find too. That was an absolute pure luck because like I went out, I was doing
Yeah.
Christmas shopping that day for other people, and I was in the mall and I was like, let me swing by and see if maybe, because I had been watching the website. I've been watching the website to see. I was just like, okay, well, is it in stock? No, is it in stock? No. But I walked in there and they're like, we just got some in. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is outside my budget right now, but I have to do it. It's like I have to. I'm gonna big regret it later if I didn't. And sure enough, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I still get people who DM me from my video about it. It's like, are you willing to sell them? I'm like, no,
No,
sorry.
I will not.
It's like checking
wouldn't
every
either.
day. It's like checking every day in the mail. It's like checking every day in the mail to see if your Amazon package arrived.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I call up the next person, I did see a text question earlier that I did find pretty interesting as a Knights fan. So, this is from Dodger. G to the next level as the Sega Saturn turns 30 this year's in the West. As the Sega Saturn turns 30 years old in the West, what is your favorite game on that platform?
It would be Knights.
Nice!
Easily is Knights.
Go.
Because if you want to talk about a game that is unique that nothing else on this planet plays like,
Yeah.
and it's one of those that like it's so hard to explain without actually playing Knights.
Yeah.
Because as of course it's just like, oh, is it a flying game? Is it an adventure game? It's like, what
it a
is it? Like,
platforming
what
game?
is
What
Knights?
is it?
And it's like Knights is Knights. That's really just the best way to have to answer about it. And just the world and the music and just the character. And even the
Yeah.
sequel on the Wii is good too. But that original, I remember
that
back in the
original.
day, because I didn't get a Saturn early on when I was younger. Because fun story, my parents were like, they were really big in the Genesis and Sega, because obviously, like we mentioned, they decided to get us a 32X for Christmas when the Sega 32X came out. And it died in a year. As many of you all know, it was not a success. It died in a year. And the Saturn was announced like sure after that. And I asked my parents for a Saturn the year after that for Christmas. And they were like, wait, didn't we just get you a 32X? And I was like, well, yeah, but there's no other games coming out for it. And I want Virtua Fighter and all this stuff. And they're like, really?
I
we're
want Virtua Fighter.
I know. And they were like, nah, I think we're done with Sega. That my parents were so upset because they, I don't blame them. They invested what was it, 200 or 150 when the 32X attachment was? I think it was like 200, and they invested in that only for it to die in a year. Now, granted, I'm a fan of the 32X. I will stand the 32X now as an adult. But like as a kid, it was just unfortunate because like I really wanted a Saturn, but my parents decided to get a PlayStation instead. So I got my Saturn later on. And one of the biggest reasons why I got it with my own money, I mowed lawns, I delivered papers, I did all that I could do to save it because my parents would not buy the Saturn. And I saved my money to get that, and I bought my Saturn, and I bought Knights. Because like I played Knights in the store, and I fell in love with it. And it's just an outstanding game. And that's another one of those games that when I start, I can't stop. Like it's over. At least one story.
I will sink countless hours into Nights. Like I need to do another thing of that. But like
you should.
I play countless hours. Oh my god, yeah.
Honorable mention. I do have an honorable mention on the Saturn, and that's Guardian Heroes. That's my honorable mention. Guardian Heroes, awesome beat 'em up from Treasure Co. The Gunstar Heroes, Dynamite Heady people. It's just a wonderful anime style Streets of Rage, or I guess more Golden Axe, style beat 'em up with a really fun magic and mechanics system. It's just a wild game. And what's cool about that too is it's also on Xbox now. So it's like you can actually play an upgraded version of it now. But I love it. It's just a blast. Multiple paths, multiple stories, multiple characters to master, and there's even like a 6-player battle mode. It's so good. It's so good. But those two Knights, and then I'd probably say Burning Rangers, like on that too. Firefighters in space.
Love that.
Yes, that is really cool. I saw in chat. Really, Knights is just a 32-bit masterpiece that Sonic Team did. For real though,
it is.
It is so great.
Actually true.
If you can, go play Knights. Seriously, I am Knights' strongest soldier. I am this franchise's strongest soldier. Sega, please. I know you're listening to me. I need a third game, please.
The possibilities are endless. It's like they really are, like, because with all the new games and the older IPs that are coming out now, the new Shinobi looks amazing, by the way.
And more.
And we got more coming.
Pretty.
So the possibilities are endless. As long as they're good and as long as we keep supporting them. We'll see. I know that's the one that concerns me the most right now is Crazy Taxi. But we'll see.
It makes me nervous. Jet Set Radio looks like it'll be interesting, though.
Yeah.
I can only hope the best things for that one.
Definitely. Right. Well, I should probably call up the next person after that text question.
Sure.
So let me see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Maito, come up. Whoops, I butchered your name, but come up anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
It's cool. It's cool running into you again. And hello, G.
Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. So, I have like one question. What's your most favorite project that you have worked on?
Most favorite project that I've worked on so far. I mean, I'm just gonna take Growing Up Genesis and kind of put it to the side. Because like as a whole, it is my favorite project. It is my passion project. That's the one thing I love doing the most out of everything. Much love to Sonic. But Growing Up Genesis is my favorite project that I'm working on. Aside from that, if like what was my favorite little mini thing that I did, and I whipped this project in like 2 hours. I mean, granted, after like multiple times of streaming the actual games, I decided it would be fun to do like a rapid fire rundown of the entire library of the Atari Jaguar, like every officially licensed, because a buddy of mine let me borrow Yeah, because like a buddy of mine let me borrow his Jaguar, and he had one of the Jag drives, and so I got a chance to play every single one. I streamed them too, but then after that, it's like, hey,
Woo!
15 seconds or less. Let's go through every single game, approved, disapproved, and I did it in like 2 hours, and then afterwards it was done. I was like, oh, I love this. This was so fun, and that's what kind of became the skeleton of growing up Genesis. Only the growing
That
up
is
Genesis
great.
A to Z series is going to be, on the scale of 1 to 5 Gs, and it'll be a little bit more in depth because like they're full reviews. They're not just snapshots like the Jaguar one was. But out of all the
Yeah.
videos I've done, that probably is my most favorite one that I've made.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That's awesome.
Now I have to bring out my Atari logo T-shirt, and I was going to go for Atari Jaguar.
Yeah, I have a Lynx shirt. Like a buddy of mine actually gave it to me for my birthday. It's like an Atari Lynx shirt because I love the
That's
Lynx.
so
That's
cool.
like it is the most, to me, the Lynx is the most underrated portable console. I think maybe other than the Neo Geo Pocket Color, I think it's like the most underrated portable. I love the Lynx like dearly. It's a great system. But yeah, Atari love. My first console I ever had was the Atari 5200 with the 2600
That's
attachment.
a classic.
My mom
Mhm.
actually has like an Atari 2600, an original one lying around my grandma's house somewhere.
Ooh, wood grain?
2600. I
No,
don't,
no,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
like,
which grain, but like,
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
okay,
wood grain.
gotcha.
but yeah, probably question mark maybe.
Probably.
I don't know. I'll have to like pull it out and find it, but like I'll have to like scrummage around for it. But yeah, it's lying somewhere in my grandma's house. I'll definitely send a picture of it to you afterwards once I find it. But yeah.
Ah,
I
please.
did actually see an Atari
Yeah.
once.
Nice,
Mm.
nice. I love the fact that they're also the Atari's still like kicking and living today. Like they just released like the
Yeah.
7800 plus, the remade console, like that displays
That's
in HD. Like that's
awesome.
sick.
Woo! We love
Nice.
that. Yeah,
Since
well,
Hopefully I
maybe
can,
though.
if I can get my hands on one of those, I would love to review it. So that's one of the
Yeah.
other things that I
Yes,
do on
please.
YouTube.
I would
love
most
to do that.
likely buy one too.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you for your question, Mayito.
You're welcome, Vibe
Yes.
Ripple. It's so nice to see you again, and you too, G.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you so
to
much.
see you again
Take care.
too. Yeah. Glitch, do you want to call up the next person?
Sure. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Who should be brought up? I guess Webby 432 has their hand up. Let's
right.
bring them up. There they are.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hey Webby.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, oh wait, sorry. Make sure my mic works. Okay.
Yep, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Since you've been a fan of Sonic since 1991, how did you first hear about the Genesis, and what was it like getting it?
Oh, so yeah, about the Genesis. The thing is that I first really heard about it because when we were growing up with my parents, like we weren't always like having to get the newest console immediately. Like we had the Atari 5200 first, and then we got the NES after that. So by some point, it's like, okay, is it time to upgrade and get the new console? You want to get a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, right? And as I was mentioning before, my parents used to do bowling at this bowling alley, and the bowling alley had all kinds of Sega arcade cabinets. Like I'm not sure if they had like either an agreement or maybe they just love Sega, but I think it was mainly because my parents had that exposure to all of these games. So when it was time to buy a new console, it's like, oh, I know Altered Beast, I know Outrun, I know Afterburner, like I know all of those games, and the Sonic too. And it's like, can I get Sonic too? And it's like, yep. So that's basically how we got exposed to the Genesis firsthand. That and magazines, because I was reading gaming magazines like back in the day, Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Pro, Die Hard Game Fan. So I'm seeing the new scoops as they're coming around. And so from playing them in the arcade and seeing that they were coming home with great conversions, by the way, it's like, okay, I think this is what we want next.
Woo.
So now, as far as the years beyond that, it was really around like when I started getting into college. When I was in college, and then the games started becoming really cheap because fourth generation was on its way out. PlayStation, Saturn, N64, all that stuff was on its way in. So a lot of Genesis stuff was starting to go like on clearance for like deep discounts. And I was working in retail at the time too. So I was like, you know what? I want to get this game. I'll try this game. I'll try this game. Because we used to rent a lot of games when I was young. But the games were so cheap and they were in box and everything too, which is one of the biggest reasons people ask me too, like how, because for those who don't know, I didn't mention this earlier, but I actually have a not fully complete in box, but I do own every Sega Genesis North American released game with the exception of one. Like there's one that I do not have, and that's Outback Joey. But all the rest, which some people count and some people don't, I personally don't, because it requires like a whole setup and everything to properly work. But I started doing that over that time. And that's why people ask, how did you get all these games? Like, because I got them for literally $3, $5, $2. I got them for dirt cheap from like GameStop and pawn shops and everything because they were starting to get rid of them. Most of my collection I didn't buy late until now. Now there are cases now where I'm trying to truly complete them. So trying to find manuals. Sometimes I'm trying to upgrade their labels, like Air the Acrobat 2 and a few others that are expensive. But that's really where the love kind of came in ever since. Because the thing is that going into when I started doing YouTube, like many, many years ago, Nintendo was pretty much everywhere. It was like, okay, everybody that was doing YouTube was doing Nintendo this, like all that kind of stuff. Nothing against Nintendo, again. But I was like, I want to do something different. And not a whole lot of people are showing that much love to Sega as much. And so that's why I started focusing a little bit more on that. And then I was like, okay, Genesis. Genesis does. Yeah, let's do the entire library.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is great. Well,
What
thank you for your
Nintendo
question. Yeah. Well, thank you for your question, Webby4.
Awesome. Thank you, Webby. See you in the streams, bud.
Yeah?
See you then.
Yeah.
Hey, good old Webby. I actually met him at a convention. Like, I actually met him IRL at a convention last year.
That's
and
awesome.
Long Island Retro. Wonderful con. So
Whoa.
I unfortunately can't make it this year because it's the same weekend as again another conflict. But that's the thing about this year, because it's going back to that whole dealing with trying to pick and choose what to do. It's like content creation, so you don't burn out, so you don't overextend yourself, right? Because I never thought that like there would be times where I would tell a convention, oh, I can't make it because I already have another one lined up. But, it happens.
Yeah, from one content creator to another, scheduling is a pit.
It is.
It really
It very much is.
Yeah. Well, we have one more person in the audience. Glitch, would you like to call them up?
Sure. Let's see.
It's Kevin. It's Kevin.
Oh, I know.
It's
Kevin.
It's Kevin.
It's Kevin. It's Kevin. I can pull him up. Don't worry.
Vib, I can pull them up, Vib. I just have to open the VC back up, please.
It's okay.
Seconds.
Wait,
God.
I got it. I got it.
Impatient fairy. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm very mercurial.
Rude.
I got. I'm sorry. I'm very flittery. I fly around and I zip around the place. What can you expect? I'm a tiny little thing.
That's fine. I'll sit in the
That's how
corner.
pixies
and cry.
work,
It's all good.
right? Pixies, fairies, however, that's how they work, right?
We change the
True.
seasons. We bring music to people. We do a lot of things, and I somehow happen to be one that lives in the digital world. So I am quite literally inside of your Wi-Fi right now.
You're a mouse cursor. Let's go.
Ooh, maybe I should change my password a little bit.
Lock it down. Put a firewall.
I was wondering why I was having such trouble streaming the other day.
That's
No
my
stream over
fault.
Wi-Fi.
I'm sorry. It
It's
will
all
happen
Vib's
again.
fault. Every time my stream crashes, it's Vib's fault.
It's my fault. It will happen again. My apologies.
Got it.
Yeah, but Kevin, hello.
Hey, Kevin. Hello.
Now I'm just waiting to be sprinkled with spirit dust and slide. Peter Pan.
Yeah, I'll need to find my
There you
spare
go.
pixie dust supply lying around. But yeah, what is your question, Kevin?
But yeah, my question is, as a retro game enthusiast, what in your opinion makes retro gaming so special? And if there's one retro game you could bring back and remake, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. All right. So, what makes retro gaming so special? I think I would have to say it's the element of simplicity without sacrificing ingenuity. I guess that's really the way I could say it. It's like to be so simple yet so fun, but still have the amount of character of like something of the games of new, the games of today. If there's one thing I would probably say, like it feels that like not as many games today as back then were willing to experiment. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like there were so many unique, like, and cool concepts of stuff about retro games that you still get today. Don't get me wrong, but it feels different. As they say, it hits different. Like it hits a little bit different, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
as somebody, especially as you know, many of us are starting to get a little bit older. Our free times are starting to become less and less as we're doing multiple. I basically work 5 jobs, so it's like, okay, so as time is precious, it's like. And you just want to get that little bit of a fix, that little bit of a feel for a game without feeling like you need to completely invest in. That's one of the reasons why I love retro games. And I think probably the biggest word that I could say about being into retro games, anything, is cozy. There is a coziness about classic games, whether it be Atari, Sega, Nintendo, even like early 3D and like early polygonal PlayStation and Saturn stuff, right? There is a coziness. What's the phrase? It's important to look back on where you've been to truly realize where you are. I hope I got that right. But retro games really give me that feel, and it's unique going back and playing those, and then playing something today, especially games that or franchises that are still around. Like a couple of weeks ago, I played Prince of Persia on the Genesis. It was a classic, wonderful game, like back in the day, and it is a series that is still going today.
That is crazy.
It's so unique to kind of look at it and then see the timeline of how the series has gone through what 30. I think it's almost at 35 years, if not longer than that. I think it's got to be at least past 35 years, and like it's still there. So it's that humbleness, but that extra little bit of cozy that you feel from picking up a retro game, because especially like those who don't know, out of everything, and let me unhook it here so I can show y'all. I'm always going on real hardware. It's like I'm pretty much always going on real hardware. Not always. There are some cases where I do have to use other means, but for the most part, I'm always going on real hardware. There is a unique feel about picking up that original controller. It's like playing with that original controller, and you're instantly taken back to those carefree and wonderful days of back then. But then when you're doing something like me, when you're going through the entire library, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I never tried this game when I was young. And again, it feels different. But it all comes back to, that's why I say cozy. It all gives you that cozy, nice and warm feeling, right?
Yeah. I never grew up with the Euphoria franchise, Hebedeka Euphoria, but I had a friend recommend it to me, and I played the sequel recently, and it is so good coming back to these old franchises, but like, you know, brought back after God knows how many years.
Yep.
It's really great seeing that, and I really hope other franchises get the same treatment, like Knights Wink Wonk.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I know Jet Set Radio is gonna like get that treatment soon, so yeah.
It is.
It's
Jet Set
great.
Radio. I'm really hoping Altered Beast will get it. I know they already attempted to make a new Altered Beast once, and it didn't go well. So I'm hoping that with the right treatment, and I think if anything, and this is going back to Sonic, I think that the Sonic movie changed literally all the operations of Sega. I think it did. I think they realized, because when you have the right care and the people with the right passion behind a project, something as important as bringing back a classic franchise and a classic IP, if you have the right people in place, you can make magic, and people will really enjoy and go into it. Another perfect example of that, Streets of Rage 4 in 2020. It's like a game that came out of nowhere, and everybody was, I mean, myself included, we were skeptical. We were skeptical. But then again, once you start playing it, you realize they really took good care of this. And I feel that that's where Sega is at right now. And it's like, okay, we're bringing back these classic franchises, but we want to make sure that they're in the right hands and they get the proper care. So I'm confident. Like I said, the only one I'm a little shaken about is Crazy Taxi. But again, like we'll see what happens on it. But I'm confident. I'm confident, and I'm hoping that it's going to be really, really well. But yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Now, to answer Kevin's second question. And this is where I get to be a little bit cheeky. For those who do watch me on stream, they probably already know what game I'm going to talk about. It's like, what game am I going to bring back? So, have you ever, Glitch, have you ever heard of a game called El Viento?
El Viento, I have not.
You
I've
haven't?
heard of it, but never played it.
Nope.
All right, let me give you the TLDR, like the real short
Mhm,
synopsis, because
mhm.
it's a lot. You're basically a Peruvian sorceress who is found in a cave by a Bishonen style like treasure hunter, like Indiana Jones, but like very, very pretty. And he saves her, and essentially she is the key to stopping the resurrection of an ancient god that's going to take over New York City and the world. You have to travel the entire country to put a stop to them, to hopefully save a girl that's going to be a sacrifice while riding dolphins and taking on Cthulhu. Oh, and by the way, you fight Al Capone too. All this
Whoa,
happens in
that's
this one game.
crazy!
Why have I
And
not
it-
played this game? This is like perfect for me.
It's
That's
nuts.
amazing.
I just imagine this game brought back today in something in the vein of like God of War or like a Heavenly Sword, or even in the vein of something like a Jack and Daxter, like something like that. I can just imagine this
Ooh.
game being wonderful, but just go nuts, gloves off. Like, don't
Yeah.
put any restrictions on the story or anything like that. Just go nuts. And I would just love to see what they would come up with if they were to bring this franchise, because it's technically a franchise. There's 3 games in the franchise, technically. So it's like, hey, if they bring this back, that would be awesome. And then Ernest Evans, the guy
Yeah.
who saves her, he can have his own treasure hunting game, and then everything just goes from there. So that would be my, if there was any retro game to bring back today, that would be my pick, hands down.
Yeah, that is great. Well,
I love
thank
that
you
game.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Kev.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you for answering my question. That was a very good answer too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I do see a text question somewhere. I'm going to read it out. So, you've got a question from Dino Kaiju.
Okay.
All right. I have a question. I have just seen your videos on your Sonic collection, so I have to ask, what to you is your most prized possession that you currently have?
Our most prized possession? I believe someone asked that, but it would be my 1992 Cal Toy Sonic plush. Like that's my prized possession. But I think actually, so I already answered that before. So what would I think
Second
would probably
most
be the
prized
one
possession.
after that? Yeah, second most
Yeah.
prized possession. I think is probably going to be my Sonic Generations Collector's Edition.
Whoa!
Because
yeah.
Sonic-
There.
Sonic Generations is a game that means a lot to me. And that's why when they came back with Sonic X Shadow Generations, I was like, I need this now immediately in my life. And I have now bought the game 3 times over. So it's like it's a wonderful, wonderful game. But I remember when Generations first came out, like many years ago, and I pre-ordered it, and I had to be like one of the first people to get it. I didn't find out until later that there was a collector's edition for it that was only released in Japan and Europe. We didn't get this collector's edition.
Yep.
And for like, I didn't really have the proper means of being able to use like eBay overseas or use like a what's the word, a proxy, like a Japanese proxy or something like that, like back then.
Yeah.
And then the value on it just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up. And I was just like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford it. So it kind of became my white whale, like for Sonic collecting for a while. So rewind back to last year. At the beginning of 2024, every single year, it used to be in January, but I think next year I'm going to do it in May. I do what's known as GCon, which is my annual Streamiversary event, where basically it's like, hey, in my X year, like this year is my 4th year on Twitch. So I do it by like doing a subathon where you do as many Sonic games as possible. It was an uncapped subathon, but I'm gonna make some changes to it next year because it went a little wild. But
Understandable.
I am gonna do that again, but as kind of the first big success, because last year it was a success. It was literally some of the most fun I had ever had on stream. And when everything was all done, like, and I was thanking everybody and seeing all the wonderful responses, I literally was in tears. Like, I was in tears when it was all done. I was just like, man, I don't want to leave y'all, because I also had to leave for contractor work for a while. So it's a little bit of both. But then my wife, Ranchan, she actually asked me, it's like, you know what you need to do? It's like, you need to treat yourself. It's like, you actually worked really, really hard. It's like, you made these goals. It's like, you need to treat yourself. And I was just randomly thumbing through eBay. And again, this was like at midnight, like thumbing through eBay. And I saw that somebody had, in the United States, in America, they had that collector's edition for like a decent enough price. And I was like, I have extra from the subathon. Am I finally going to do this after, 10 plus years? Like almost 15 years? I'm just like, am I going to do it? I did it. So...
Yay!
So happy.
So it not only is it just like a prized possession I've wanted for so long, it's also basically just a memento of a wonderful event. So yep.
Yeah, that is great. So I did have a question that did pop in my head, but it's really basic. I know Glitch always thinks about these super creative questions, and I'm just sitting here I have the most basic questions known to man.
Don't even worry about it. Like if you want to know the answer,
it's good.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
Glitch.
Basic balances it out.
Yeah. So I did want to ask what your favorite Sonic characters were and why.
Okay, so other than Sonic, because he's my favorite. Like hands down. That's when people ask me, it's like, who's your favorite Sonic character? I'm like, obviously it's Sonic. But like, who are my other favorite characters? I probably say Shadow, of course. Shadow is somebody who, especially
the boy.
the boy, indeed, throughout the years and in the lore. Going into Sonic X Shadow Generations and playing through his story and then realizing so when Shadow first came around, I played Sonic Adventure 2 when it first came out and everything I did. And I was like, he's cool. But I know like a lot of people love it. Like, oh, Shadow's the greatest. He's a favorite character. I'm like, I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite grasp like, okay, he's cool, but I don't love him. Like, he's not one of my favorite characters. And then I played Sonic X Shadow Generations. And his story.
Did you cry?
Yes.
Be honest with me. Did you
Yes.
cry? That's the correct answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil
When
it for
you
those who
get
haven't played it.
You start bawling. Yeah. You get it.
You're just
Yep,
gonna have
it just
to play
hit
the
that spot.
game.
Yep. And I was on
It's an
stream too. I was just like, like, I'm so sorry.
I cried so hard on stream during this game.
It's
I never
massively
played the
done.
game. I never played it, but I saw
It's
the
an
cutscenes and I
emotional
just
roller
started
coaster.
crying.
So there were,
Shakes you. It's not the same.
right? There are 2 points that I cried in that game. And again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but
No, it's fine.
the other part was this guy's involvement.
Oh,
Was this guy's involvement.
Wasn't it crazy just seeing
Oh.
him show up and just be like, oh my god!
Oh, I was like, no.
I
But-
screamed my
No.
head
It's
off.
so good. So good. And then, of course, the movie. Then Sonic
Actually,
3.
I need to play that.
Movie
on
was
stream
great.
one
Of course.
day.
The
I need to
movie.
get the
You
game.
Opening day.
you
was
really
insane.
should. Are you getting a Switch too?
No.
Or
I
no?
think I'm
Oh yeah, that's
probably
right. You
gonna
said you're gonna stick with your
PlayStation
first one.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, then you're
because
good.
the Switch 2 is kind of expensive, and the 2 games that I'm looking forward to are coming out on the Switch one. So
Good.
yeah,
Good. Yeah, I'm
Rhythm
holding off on it.
Heaven.
I know. Nice Rhythm Heaven. I know.
Yeah.
My wife is trying to get a Switch too. Like she wants to get one, but I'm gonna wait until later. But I was asking because I know that they're putting out Sonic X Shadow on it. But
They
yeah, if you're
are,
gonna get the
yeah.
original Switch, then yeah, it runs great on the Switch. That's the one. That's the version I played on
Or
stream. But I
PC.
have it on on Xbox and I have it on PS4 because I got the
Nice.
limited run big collectors. The $250 collector's edition, and then they sent the game because they're like, we don't know how long you're gonna get the rest of the equipment. So here's the game. Because, yeah, but that was the only because somehow they got the exclusive rights to only release the PS4 version. So you can't go in, well, at least in America. I know overseas you can buy a physical PS4 version, but like in America, so I was like, you know what? I'll take the PS4 version. It'll upgrade the PS5, and sure enough, it did. So I was like, all right, that works. Works for me.
Nice.
But yeah, those two for Shadow, and then Mighty the Armadillo is another one that I've always been a big fan of, just for him because he's like the pure big brother, because he's raised big bro, and like I love Mighty. Silver the Hedgehog is another one is my favorites. Silver, and then probably, all right, here comes an Archie Comics nod. Mina the Mongoose is another one that I love too. I thought Mina was great.
Good choice.
She was great. I'm just like, she needs more love, and unfortunately now she's in the ether. But who knows?
She's
Well, it was
so
good.
underrated. Yeah, I think that's really great. Yeah, Mina is really cool. But
And she's a punk rock star. Come on, she's awesome.
Exactly. Literally, like who doesn't love a really cool punk rock star? That is great. Mina is a great character. But yeah. Glitch, you have any questions?
I asked all of my creative questions. If you keep letting me ask it, we're gonna be here forever because I'm gonna come up with even more crazy.
I mean, we do have an hour.
I know we have a
left.
time limit.
We got some more
We
time.
have an hour.
I ain't got anywhere else to be.
If we got an hour and you're totally fine with that. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I also wasn't keeping track of time. I'm just keeping
No,
track of
it's
dice.
okay.
I
It's
don't know.
literally 9:06 in my time. So yeah, we have another hour.
Okay, cool beans. All right. All right, here's a mini question. How do you feel about the Afterburner series, specifically Afterburner 2? Do you feel like they did a really good job with the sequel for Afterburner? I mean, you know that Afterburner was pretty simplistic when it came out, but it was really nice. And then 2 kind of bounced off of that, but also made it just, it's a graphical upgrade, of course. And the sound design was really good. It's nice and punchy and crunchy with its sound effects, and it just feels insanely fast paced. I got introduced to it recently during a festival that I run during the summer that's all about Sega, and one of it was Coin Op Arcade, and it was specifically going through Sega arcade cabinets and other stuff like that. One of the games that did come up was Afterburner 2, and I got to try it for the first time because I didn't get to try it when I was a kiddo, and I fell in love with it. That most of the stream was doing runs in that game, and everybody had such a good time. I want to know what your feeling is for that particular one, because I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, oddly enough.
It's weird because Afterburner is one of those series that I feel like is a legacy Sega franchise, but I agree with you. Not enough people talk about it. I know I see Webby Force. His ears are probably burning right now. I know he's a huge fan of the Afterburner series. But I feel that Sega, it's weird because it kind of went in spurts with Afterburner, right? Because like with Afterburner 1 and 2, and then I guess if you want to count 3, you can, even though it's not really an Afterburner, but it kind of is.
It's really not.
And then you've got the G-Lock games, which are kind of like Afterburner. It's sort of like that. And then you got my personal favorite in the entire franchise, which is Afterburner Climax. Like that's my favorite. Oh, Climax is amazing.
So good.
You want to talk about a way to take that game and bring it into a third generation and have it look gorgeous. Climax is awesome. So my personal thoughts on the Afterburner franchise is just that I like it. I've never really like completely loved it per se, because it's kind of like, all right, once it's done, with the exception of Climax, it's like once it's done, like you're that's kind of it. And I found that like the home experience is still good, but there are some arcade experiences that aren't quite replicated as well. Like say, I feel that the home experience for Outrun were really, really well done, right? And I feel like Afterburners was well done too, but being able to have like the actual joystick, flight stick, or even the sit down case, the sit down cabinets, and it's something like that, it doesn't quite get the same feel at home, not quite. So I guess it didn't really connect with me as much, but I still do appreciate the Afterburner series for sure. Like I mentioned, Climax is my, and even oh goodness, what was the name of the PSP game? Dark Falcon, I think it was what the name, or Black Falcon. That's it. The weird one where cows are in the sky. But
yes, why I don't know, but they're there.
It's odd, very odd. But it's a great franchise. I wondered, so that's another one. Like I mentioned, the possibilities are endless, right? Sega could literally pull out any IP that they own and decide, okay, let's make a new one.
Afterburner to come back. What?
We
Even
just
if
gotta
it's just
keep
a little
dreaming.
mini experience, please bring it back.
I think so.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's like Sega, you gotta think about it this way. Sega and Namco have worked together in the past.
Yeah.
Like they kind of have. Imagine this. If Sega got together with Namco, with the Ace Combat team, and made a new Afterburner. Think about that for a second. Think about how awesome that would be. That would be awesome. And that's what I say. It's like, if they can't do it themselves, find the right people and get the right people involved and do it. Right?
Exactly.
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for now, we just have to keep dreaming.
So, Glitch, quick question for you. Have you played the various home versions of Afterburner 2, other than the Genesis one?
Some of them. So during that arcade event, we went through a couple. Most of them were submitted to me by my team, but like a couple of the I was calling them couch versions because they were the home versions, the couch versions.
I like that.
And
I like that.
They don't. I don't know if it's maybe just me, but they don't feel as fast paced as the arcade equivalents. They feel sluggish in a way, control wise. I felt like I was struggling more to like keep myself centered within screen and be able to like roll properly or fly properly. It just felt like everything was delayed in a very weird way. And I felt like it didn't have the same punch, the same vibe as the arcade equivalents did.
I would agree.
And I don't know, it didn't feel as I don't know. It didn't feel as like sturdy. It's a very strange word to use for that one, but it didn't feel as put together as the arcade equivalents were.
I'd have to agree. Like out of all the ones, all the classic IPs that came home, I do feel that Afterburner, even though they were all good, like all the conversions were very good, I think it was the one that kind of suffered the most in translation. I guess I probably would say. But what I was getting to is, have you played the PC Engine version of Afterburner 2?
No, I haven't.
You should check it out. If you have a moment, it is very so for those who don't know, the PC Engine is the Japanese TurboGrafx 16. If you have a moment, Sega's games, I'm planning on making a video about this at some point. Sega's games on the TurboGrafx 16 most of them are very impressive about how well it works on a console that is technically weaker than the Genesis. Like, if you really think about it technically, then why does that Afterburner 2 run so much better than the Genesis one? It's like, it really does. It's got like the scaling, it's got the speed, like it's got the sound. Like, what happened here? It's like they kind of nailed this. So I don't know, but you should check that one out.
I'm very excited to try that now. Definitely got to put it on the list.
Chat with me later. I'd like to know more about your event that you're doing. It's like any sort of like Sega themed event like that. I would love to know more about. So yeah, please.
I will happily DM you about it. I will send a thingy right away.
Sweet.
we all gotta add each other after this.
New friend.
Definitely.
New friend. Oh, friend.
Yay, new friends.
As soon as you said you knew Brent, I was like, hey, that's my buddy Brent. Brent is so cool.
Yeah, Brent's awesome.
Brent. I was just talking to him yesterday. He's so funny. He talks about my Spotify playlist quite often. It's fun.
Good, I hope, right?
No, good things. He'll like notice it on my Discord and be like, oh, you're listening to this song. Did you know? And then give me like a bunch of facts about it. And I'll start laughing because I'm like, I'm either driving when I get the text message or I'm like in the middle of something and I'll look and be like, text back, Brent, what the heck are you talking about? And it's like the song you're listening to. I'm like, oh, and it's always so interesting. He told me about like a 20-minute like expose about that song from Jetpack Joyride and literally gave me like a historian perspective about this song, and it was fantastic. After that, I was just like, you are literally
hilarious.
not allowed to not text me about the music I'm listening to now. I need to know everything now. It's important. I love it. He's great. He's fantastic.
The floodgate is open. Go for it.
Yeah, I pretty much opened the gate, and I was just like, feel free. I will absorb all of the knowledge. It's great. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. He's so funny.
Yeah. So quick unrelated thing before I get into my actual question. I know earlier you were talking about the PC Engine TurboGrafx 16. I had a friend, an anonymous friend, recommend Magical Chase to me. Have you heard of Magical Chase?
So Magical Chase, yeah.
Yeah,
well, I'm
Magical
mostly
Chase.
through retro gaming collecting circles. Magical Chase is infamous because it is incredibly expensive. I mean, like, we're talking 4 to 5 figures to like how expensive this game is.
Yeah, it is expensive.
The funny thing is that I actually was gifted a while ago so it wasn't an official version of the game. It was from a company called PCE Works. And I know some people are a little iffy about what PCE Works does, but the thing is, it didn't look like an original one. It was in like a Disney VHS tape style with like some original art and some official art in it. Whoa. And it was kind of my exposure into. I'll send you some pictures on it. I still have it.
Oh
that.
Yes,
and it's
send me some pictures after stream.
Yeah,
that would be
that was my exposure into Magical Chase for finally playing it. It's really, really good. It's tough too though. I mean, it's an early case of like something like Cotton, which is another one of my favorite series, Magical Girl Cotton. That's one of my favorite series. Magical Dreams Cotton, excuse me. That's one of my favorite series. So it feels an awful lot like that, but the charm on that is like off the charts. Like, and it's a nice game.
Charming.
I just wish that it got into the hands of more people. I mean, or even if like somebody had the rights to it to make like a digital release, put it on Steam and Switch and stuff.
We need another Magical Chase game like Stat. Oh my god.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. I mean, like,
really cool if they brought Magical Chase back.
You know, it's a Game Boy version too, right?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
That
put them
would
both
be
on a
very
collection
cool.
or something. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Not me starting a collection of my very obscure franchises that I like. Yeah.
I mean, we all have at least one, right? We all have at least like one franchise that. I mean, like another one of my personal favorite and one of my favorite games of all time, and one of my
Yeah.
other favorite
Mhm.
IPs that I like to collect for is Klonoa. You know, Door to
Klonoa!
Phantom Out Klonoa.
Yeah!
Let's go, Klonoa!
Let's go!
My favorite PS1 game, easily a top 10 game of all
Oh.
time. My favorite Namco game, one of my favorite characters ever.
Oh.
I love Klonoa so much. And it's like I want to own like pretty much any sort of memorabilia, any sort of game, any sort of anything. Because there's not a lot. So like whenever
There
you do
isn't.
find ones that are just that niche franchise, even though it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know if I could consider Klonoa niche much anymore, mainly because of the re-release and everything. But
True.
he just doesn't have much of anything. And so whenever you get those niche franchises that just they don't have a whole lot, you just want to get everything that you can.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
one that I'm a huge fan of is a game called Xenocrisis, which is a twin stick shooter. And it's an awesome twin stick shooter. It was originally made for Mega Drive, but it later on got ported to everything. And I decided I love this game. It's a soft spot for me because it was one of the first games I ever streamed. And it was one of the first games that a company like that actually made the game reached out to me to say, hey, we love what you're doing. We would love to see more. And I made a connection pretty much for their entire time. Bitmap Bureau, the team that made it. They're awesome. Awesome people from the UK. They're working on a Terminator game now of all things, which is freaking sweet. So I kind of went on a quest like, I want to own every version of Xenocrisis that has release. And I have about half of them. I know that because they keep making new ones.
Yeah.
They just made it for the Game Boy Advance. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's when you get those other small franchises, and that's kind of where I'm at too, as far as like retro collecting goes. Because like I don't really collect games much anymore, but I do collect memorabilia, like in experiences.
Yeah.
So, yep.
I did get like speaking of like Namco games and whatnot. I know you were talking about like how you're a big fan of Klonoa. I'm like that with Katamari.
Yep.
Yeah, I am. It's really great. I got when the Museum of Modern Art was doing like this exhibition where they had their video games like exhibited.
Yeah,
They
I remember
did
that.
that recently.
Yep.
So I actually snagged a Katamari t-shirt from the MoMA, and so
Oh, nice.
that's like
Nice.
my very first piece of like video game merchandise, and I'm like very happy about it.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, very first piece of video gaming merchandise. Oh, I couldn't even tell you what that is.
Yeah, like t-shirts, plushies, or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
technically, I do have a Splatoon plushie of Callie and a Daisy plushie from Mario.
I love Splatoon too.
I love Splatoon.
I love Splatoon. I used to stream Splatoon like every Friday, but that was one of the things that I unfortunately, when I decided to do Growing Up Genesis and to do like a full Sega focus, I had to put on the side. But I'll still play it like every now and then. Again, that's another one of my favorite things to do with my wife. She got me into Splatoon because like I wasn't into it first, but she got me into it.
I really need to get back into Splatoon. I've been kind of burnt out from it from all the Splatfests. Ugh.
Yeah, I do feel that they did go a little hard on that. I think that they should have spaced them out a little bit more because by the time that they
No.
kind of got to the end of the quote season,
Yeah.
there was a little bit, it was a little much. But I mean, did we enjoy it? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But,
Mm-hmm.
All the losses kind of hit hard on me, and so I'm like, I need to put this game down for a little bit.
yeah, that will do it.
Because it's like 3 teams instead of 2, and so it makes it easier for your team to lose. Because even though you fight.
Yeah,
hard.
and then like whenever you start having that feeling, it's like, oh man, just go play some Salmon Run for a little bit, and then you're good.
Yeah. And then you get stuck with the crappiest teammate.
Right.
Oh, it's the worst. Like, I had to carry so many people, and then did you know there was this time in Salmon Run? I was playing, I got up until professional. I was going to rank up to executive VP, but then I kept on getting matched up with really bad randoms, and I got demoted all the way to go-getter.
Oh no.
Yeah.
See, I've had that happen with me before, and I'm realizing like if I'm just at that one, if I'm one loss away from losing it, I'm just like, nope, I'll just put it down Come back
Nope,
tomorrow.
nope,
It's like, come back tomorrow.
yeah. I'll come back in like 5 months from now. Yeah, I'm done with that. But yeah, oh my god, I'm a yapper. I need to get into my actual question.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
So, yeah, my question is, what would you tell a person that wants to get started in content creation?
Ooh, okay. So to get started, start.
Just
I
start.
mean, literally, the thing is that there's one thing with me that I can say that I kind of even cycle in 8 years down the road is that sometimes I have a tendency to overthink some things and to essentially overproduce some things. Sometimes, like if you really, really want to get it and you want to get started, there's so many people that I've talked to throughout the years that say, well, I want to get started. I want to do a YouTube channel or I want to start streaming. And it's like, but I don't have the right camera. I want to get like this X camera. I want to get this like the super expensive equipment. I want to have this really nice VTuber rig. Like, and all this stuff. I'm like,
yeah, you don't need all this fancy equipment to get started.
it's going back to what I said earlier. 9 times out of 10, they're here for your personality and they are here for you. You could. There's some cases if you're that strong, you build that much of an audience, you can film on a potato, and people will be okay. Now you should probably get good audio. That's one of the things. If you're going to get started and you want to splurge at least a little tiny bit on some equipment, I think the first thing you should do is get good audio. I have not sponsored by any means, but I have like an Elgato. I have to clarify, but I have an Elgato Wave 3. I've had this thing for 4 years now, and it has never skipped a beat. This thing's awesome. It's affordable. It's really easy to set up. It sounds clear. If there's one thing I don't like doing whenever I'm editing is having to do audio configurations and having to change audio.
Ooh, it's
Almost
gross.
not. Again, going back to that, like 9 times out of 10, I don't have to do anything for this. It's like, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's basically, it's like, if you have a vision of what you want to do, I mean, like, is it a good idea to plan what you want to do as far as like, hey, I want to make a video about this subject. I want to make a video about this subject, that sort of thing. Yeah, by all means do that. But once you have a good general foundation of what you want to do and how you want to do it, then do it. Right?
Yeah.
And one of the other things that I always hear from some people is, well, I mean, I've seen X channel, like this X big YouTube, like this X big YouTuber, this channel, it's already done what I want to do. And I want to do this now. Yeah, but have they heard what you said about it? The subject might be the same, but have they heard what you said about it? No.
Exactly.
So then you should still do it. Exactly. You should still do it. Remember that idea that I talked about Sega PC Engine games?
Yeah.
Another channel has already done something like that, but they haven't heard my take on it. And what am I going to do?
True.
You don't know until I do it. And they won't
yeah.
know what your vision and your passions are until you do it.
A
You've
lot
got
of
your own
people
voice. Use it.
From what I've seen, a lot
Exactly.
of people will come for your content, but then they'll stay for your personality. Like, if you stream a game that's, like,
True.
pretty popular, they'll be like, oh, the game that you're streaming, I love this game, but then they'll stay for you, you know? And I think
does happen.
Yeah. I think that's really great, because, again, there's, like, people streaming all of this game, like you said, and then, like, it's overwatched and whatnot, but you, as a person, bring something unique to the table, and I think that's really important for, like, people to, realize when creating content, that you are unique, you can bring something unique to the table, people will come for you.
And then when it comes
very
down
good
to
advice.
like editing and everything too, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of YouTube videos that could teach you how to use certain programs, right? Like I'm actually in the midst of transitioning programs I'm using for YouTube, so I'm kind of learning again from scratch. But once you get it there, but there's tutorials that you can find on YouTube. Heck, actually, here's a little hack: check your local library and see if your local library has a connection with LinkedIn Learning. Because if they do, you might get free access to that. So, which they have all kinds of step-by-step lessons on how to do that too. But again, don't overthink it, and don't overproduce it, because a lot of times, like, you don't have to worry about like transitions and animations and blah blah blah. You don't need all of that. Like, you really don't need all that. Everybody's got a phone of some capacity. It's like, you've got a phone. If you want to be on camera, there you go, do it. But you don't have to be on camera. That's another hang up that I feel a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't want to be on camera. You don't have to be on camera.
You don't have to.
Exactly. One of my favorite YouTubers and streamers, her name is a Hungry Gorilla. She has never been on camera once. She's been doing this for 10 years. And she is still kicking butt. 10 years.
Wow.
Never been on camera once. And she has a wonderful audience behind her. So don't let that hold you back either.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. And also, there's another option if you do not want to be on camera. I mean, VTubing is also an option. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. VTubing
sure
absolutely
is.
is an option.
There are
So,
a
yep.
ton of free-to-use VTuber models for both 2D and 3D VTubers out there for anybody that wants to content create without showing their face or for whatever reason, you know?
Yep,
That is
exactly.
also another great option. Yeah.
Some of my favorite people that I've made throughout this journey are VTubers, and it's wonderful that that is a medium that has made it accessible for people to share their voice, to share their passion.
Oh, definitely,
It's awesome.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a very great medium. I mean, we have 2 VTubers here who can vouch for the whole thing, so yeah. But yeah, that does lead into another interesting question. I know we kind of talked about this behind the scenes, but would you ever consider becoming a VTuber?
Okay, so there have been many times that I've considered doing it. And there's part of me that actually still really actually wants to do it just for fun, right? It's just to kind of see how it
Yeah.
comes. So for those who don't know, especially for those of y'all that follow me on Instagram, or if you met me at Sonic Expo and you're like, oh gee, you look different. What happened to your hair? What happened to all that? I'm actually kind of exploring other sides of me, at least so to speak. And that's kind of
Whoa,
a side that
yeah.
like I want to show a little more. And I thought, well, one way to kind of do that would be to make a VTuber model that's modeled like that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
That
I
is
thought about
great.
it. I've talked with a couple of people about it. I kind of, if I do decide to do it, I kind of already have a person in mind that I want to commission to do it.
Oh,
But
Nice,
it
nice.
has been on the brain. I don't think it would probably be a good idea to completely move over to that, just because
Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt my, well, not disrupt, but like I
No,
don't want
that's-
to, I don't want to send wrong signals to my current audience that I have now, especially because this is
No,
kind of my own little thing that's just like, okay, I already have this format for growing up Genesis, and I don't want to change
Yeah.
it at least until it's done, sort of thing.
Yes.
Maybe make like
yeah.
little minor tweaks here and there, but to go from
Yeah.
live hi you CG to VTuber G in that would be a little bit of
Yeah,
jump.
that could be
You know,
a
for
little
another
drastic.
stream, sure, why not? Right?
Yeah.
And especially because there are times when I've gone on stream without being on camera because like, hey, I still want to stream, but I don't feel particularly good. Or, you know, again, I live in Houston and it's very hot in here sometimes. It's just like, oh, it's too hot to be on camera. So like I'll turn the camera off, turn the lights off, and then just kind of go from there. But
yeah,
no, I would like to consider it someday. Someday I think it'd be cool to have.
And besides, there's other VTubers out there who do like their in-person content on the side, so they don't completely switch over to VTubing. They do kind of like half and half. Like Kason is a really, really good example of this. She's great. Kason on air. She is wonderful. A wonderful, wonderful content creator. But yeah. We do have 30 minutes left, so this is our 30-minute warning. Glitch, any questions? Because I'm struggling to think of stuff.
Did you run out?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple on this list, but they're like, favorite food, favorite color, dream vacation. I mean, we could do that.
List
but like,
nothing. The fun ones are the ones that just come off the top of your head.
Yep,
Random,
exactly.
Right?
Like if we're just
Those are the
bouncing back and
wild
forth between
cards.
questions.
Yeah,
True,
and
true.
audience,
the wilder the
if you
better.
Audience, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hand. We will come and drag you up.
Yeah, jump
I
in
got a
or
burning
even
one.
text it. Either way. It's like
True.
either way.
Yeah.
I've got a burning one, G. I've got a burning question.
Oh,
And
yes,
this
please.
one might be interesting. All right. So delving into a standard question, but adding a little bit of a kick to it. So
Oh.
Sonic OSTs. What is
Okay,
to be
ooh.
said about Sonic OSTs, right? And we've had quite a lot of good ones. Majorly, most people would say they're all good, but we sometimes have to be honest with ourselves and say maybe one or two are not bangers like we would like them to be.
Yeah.
So I've
Right,
got,
yeah.
yeah, what can we really say? We just be like, majority is good though. A
Yeah.
90% is still a 90%,
Hey,
okay?
it's still a high percent. It's still a high
still a-
percentage.
That's still an A.
Okay.
That's still an A.
So, with that being said, I would really, really like to know two questions that have to do with the OSTs.
Okay.
One, I want to know what your favorite lyrical song in the Sonic OSTs have been. You can give a top
Mhm.
three because I know this is very, very hard. And then the second question is, I want to know what song stands out to you the most and represents Sonic to you personally.
Oh, okay. So favorite lyrical songs of Sonic, and which one means like speaks out the most as being a Sonic song, in my opinion.
Yeah, what represents Sonic to you personally? What song you feel like once you hear it, you're like, oh, that's Sonic. That's Sonic to a T. This song.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna think about that second question for a bit, because like my gut answer is like it's probably something that like, oh yeah, of course, but
No,
you never know though. Lyrical
That's
wise,
okay.
like my three favorite, I guess I'll say three. Of course, obviously, Escape from the City, City Escape.
Oh, of
I mean,
course.
like, it's the one that always hits in the feels, like every single time without fail, and I have to sing it till its end too. So like, it's got to be City Escape, and again, it's like, but also. Going into defining Sonic, maybe that is my answer for that, actually. Is like going to a song that just kind of defines Sonic, because when you think about Sonic now, and I talk to so many people, like when they immediately say, it's like, oh yeah, Sonic, one of the first things that they always say is rolling around at the speed of sound.
Yeah.
God,
Then what else?
It's iconic.
It's like, what else? It's like, I can't really pick anything else, because it's like, that's the one that immediately, that or, Green Hill Zone, because that's the song that most people have actually gotten really interested in. Now, it might not be my personal pick. Live and Learn,
Live
and Learn.
Yeah.
But other like lyrical Sonic songs I love, aside from City Escape, endless possibilities, infinite possibilities.
Yes,
Unleashed.
possibilities.
Endless possibilities. Yes.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities is always another one of my favorites, and it's so funny because again, my wife is like she's not a gigantic Sonic fan, but she really enjoys Sonic, like not as much as Pokemon. But her favorite rock band is Bowling for Soup.
Yes.
And so when she heard that song, she was like, "Is that the lead singer from Bowling for Soup?" And it's like, "Yes, it is."
So I
She's
did
like,
too.
"Oh
when I
my
first
god, they
heard
made
it.
a Sonic song!"
That's amazing.
So again, the world's colliding in like the best
Love
way
that.
possible, right?
I love it when
So
my
those
interests
two,
collide.
oh man, it might be a little bit of recency bias. It's like I'm trying to think.
That's
I mean,
fine,
Live and
it's
Learn
fine.
obviously is one too, and also All of Me from Shadow the Hedgehog. Of course, that too.
That is a good one.
But I don't know the name of the actual song itself, but the introduction song for Sonic and the Secret Rings. It might be recency bias, because I did play that one recently, and it's just like when you listen to that song, it's like you hear a song that just gets you like really pumped up and ready to get into Sonic, ready to play Sonic. I love that song so much.
I know which one you're
I was like,
talking about.
it's awesome.
And
it's
I
like
understand.
Make Believe Reborn.
Yes.
Nobody talks about Secret Rings.
Kevin said it's called Seven Rings in Hand.
Thank you. Seven Rings in Hand. Thank you. That's it. There you go.
A love-hate
There's mine.
relationship with that game. The game is not. The premise is good. Don't get me wrong. Premise is so good. It's so good. They had everything there, but the controls held it back so badly. And the OST is so good.
It's so good. Wonderful. Like the aesthetics of Secret Rings.
It's like
Can I talk a little tiny bit about that? Because
go
like
ahead.
Yeah,
go
ahead.
Oh, thank you. Because like with GCon this year, when I did it, that's when I finally got into the Wii games. Because I was trying to do them chronologically as best as I could, and I finally got into the Wii games. And I had never actually sat down and finished Sonic and the Secret Rings before. So it's like I did finish Black Knight a while ago, but I didn't finish Secret Rings ever. And so like I really did. It is jank. It is so problematic. There are so many times that like I wanted to huck my Wiimote at my wall and watch it bounce, and the final boss aggravated me. But
that is great.
The spectacle of that game had me on the edge of my seat. I can't lie and say that I did not have a lot of fun in all the issues with that game. It's like, so is it worth the pain? That's I ended after every Sonic game I did, because it qualifies for the worst Sonic game as well, because somebody mentioned it. So it qualifies. I mentioned at the very end of it, I was just like, this might be the Sonic game that is worth the pain to you, because it is you come away out of that experience feeling something that I haven't felt in any other Sonic game. And I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Completely
it's interesting.
understand.
But the storybook games, if there's anything like, if Sega is just like, okay, we don't really know exactly what to do storyline with Sonic, but we need to make a new game or we need to do something, come back
Bring
to the
back
storybook series.
Yeah.
Come back to
I'm-
it. And I just envision like this question came up when I had my interview with Erica Schroeder. Like
Oh.
because she's a huge fan of the storybook games. She loves them.
Mhm.
And so she mentioned that during the Q&A panel that I hosted for them. So when it was time for our interview, I did a follow-up question with that. Basically, if you could bring back the storybook series, what fairy tale or what classic tale would you like Sonic to take on next? And she said Peter Pan. And I was like,
Did
that's
you know
an
Knights was
excellent
actually
choice.
That's
you know Knights-
interesting.
Knights was actually also inspired off of Peter Pan, so that could lead into a double connection there.
It could. It could.
Yeah.
There's your in. There's your in. It's like-
Knights and Sonic
Sega
crossover?
immediately goes, they're like, yeah, that's so cool. We'll have them flying in the background somewhere. You'll have to like really look for it to see. But we have the representation.
It's like,
there.
it's there. It's
There
there.
you go.
It's there. It's
We
like
love you so much.
it's like when Rystar is the flag person in Sonic and All Stars Race. It's like, you like Rystar, don't you? You
God,
like
that was
Rystar. There he is. I was
me.
like,
my
oh.
God.
I was just like,
I
oh
want-
yeah, Rystar. Oh,
I
I'm
want-
sad now.
I want a new Rystar so bad.
Sega, please
That would be really cool.
stop giving
Yeah.
us crumbs. I need a meal. I'm
I
starving.
know, right?
Oh
like,
my
Please,
God.
I want some more.
I want
just
some
fill the
more,
bowl.
please.
I don't want to
please.
stand here
Can I just
anymore.
have a single loaf of bread? Stop giving me the crumbs.
That's probably why I have like such a love, like a soft spot in the storybook series for like Black Knight, because I feel like they definitely
Yeah.
they solidified what
Oh,
they
yeah.
wanted to do with the controls a lot better in Black Knight. You could definitely feel it. The traversal feels a lot better.
It
and
does.
a lot
The
of-
game feels a
but
lot better.
Combat
agree.
is still a wonk. It's still a wonk.
It's
We
because
have-
that's the thing, and I thought that Black Knight for the longest time, in my opinion, I preferred it over Secret Rings, and I played both of them like back to back. And so when that happened, I was just like, you know what? I think I actually like Secret Rings more because it's like Black Knight was a fine game. It didn't have nearly as many issues as Secret Rings, like not even close. But I had more fun with Secret Rings. That's the crazy thing about it. So imagine them bringing that back in a traditional style. That would actually be really
so
cool.
Yeah.
Would be really nice. I still say Journey to the West would be the next storybook.
Yes.
And they
Yeah,
need to
that would
do
be so
it.
good.
It's
The Monkey
right
King?
there, and they need to do it. It
Mhm.
would be too perfect.
That'd be
They
sick.
just
That would be
need to
sick.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just need to do it, please. And there's so many other things they could do. So much like Greek mythology and other stuff that they could possibly do. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Endless possibilities.
As
Yeah.
a Greek person, I 100% support the Greek mythology thing. That would be cool.
But this is
Nice.
why the fan projects that are
Mhm.
coming out recently that are diving back into the storybook concept is getting so much attention. Like you have Dragon's Path, which is beautifully, like the concept art for that is gorgeous, and then you have Sonic and the Olympus Heroes, which is also going into the storybook, but like Greek mythology, and I'm like, that's insane. I
Oh,
love
nice.
that.
It is insane. Oh my God.
They
I would
need to do more stuff. Please,
They
we have
do.
so many books. Just pick one.
please.
Just
Yeah.
pick
Let's go for it. Right?
Just pick one.
That is
Give
great.
us Dante's Inferno. I don't care, please.
Dante's Inferno.
You have Shadow. Just use him.
And there you go. Yes.
Please.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's so many classic stories they could do. Brothers Grimm, Gaeta,
Oh my
maybe?
god, imagine
Ooh.
that.
Mhm.
Brothers Grimm would be interesting. They'd
That
have to
would
do
be.
it like
Hmm.
it'd have to be stage by stage. I don't know if they could
Yeah,
do a full
Brothers
open
Grimm
world.
could be cool though.
There's too
yeah.
many stories to smash into each other. They'd have to
Mhm.
pick maybe one.
We,
maybe
we
two.
do
Probably.
we do love Brothers Grimm in this house though.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, let's see. You know what? I might just ask one of the generic boring question. Yeah, what is your dream vacation?
I want to go to Japan someday.
Me too.
Someday. I've never
Yeah.
been. And that would be like just one of the most amazing things just to sightsee and see the world. And I think any place I wanted to start with is Japan. I would also like to go to the UK someday. Like someday,
Nice,
but
nice.
Japan
The UK
first.
Yeah, I've been to the UK before. It's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. But yeah, I want to go to Japan, like really, really, really badly. That is 100% on my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Greece is also really nice. Greece is also really
I would
nice
like to go to
too.
Greece too. That
Greece
would
is
be
on
cool.
my bucket
Yeah.
list, and it's probably
Mhm.
because I've always I really like the landscapes out that way.
Yeah,
and
as a
Mhm.
Greek
probably
American
because-
person. As a Greek American person, please go to Greece. That would be great.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, probably because
Nice.
Thanks.
Unleashed is my heart Sonic game
Yeah.
for a lot of
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
Because
Oh,
it got me
Unleashed
into a
is
lot of the
good.
industry, which is why Endless
Nice.
Possibilities, that's like my Sonic song.
It had
Jam.
a really
But
mhm.
Everybody always goes like Spagonia and all that stuff.
Spagonia,
First of all,
Spagonia.
First of all, Spagonia is not my favorite stage in that. It's good. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's not my favorite stage. It's not my
Yeah.
favorite stage. For one of them is literally representational of like my hometown, which is Empire City. Like I have that over most people in this game. I'm like, that's literally my neighborhood. But like Apatos.
Apatos, yes.
Yeah.
Apatos, yeah.
That is my favorite location in all of Unleashed, and I
Nice.
love a lot of the locations.
You are so
Like,
real
I
for
love
that.
everything for Chunan. I love Shamar. Don't get me
Yeah.
started with Adabat, but Aptos, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous. It's such a perfect place for you to start in that game.
Mhm.
Nice.
It's so
I need to play Unleashed again. I really do. It's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been too long. Yeah.
Apatos's
You gotta
music
play the
is
recompile.
so good. We love Windmill Isle
gorgeous.
in this house.
Windmill
Yes.
Isle, the
We love
daytime
Windmill
Windmill
Isle.
Isle song
So
is one of my
nice.
favorite songs in all of
We
Sonic.
love
Period.
Windmill
Yes.
Isle
I love it.
Day.
I love
Nighttime is
it.
also so gorgeous there, and the stark
Mhm.
contrast of all of the architecture and the coloring
Yes.
is so good because when you're running at the top speed that you are with Sonic, there's a reason why they
Mhm.
pick those locations to start. And
Oh,
they've hidden so many
Mhm.
secrets in Apatos specifically. If you stop and you look around at all the restaurants, at like the signage and stuff,
It's
I
all
did a
written in
tour of
Greek.
Apatos.
It's
Well, yes, but also there's some places that are written in English, and a lot of them are references to past games. One of the drinks that
Yeah.
you could get at one of the coastal restaurants in Apatos is called Red Mountain, and it literally is based off of the level from SA1. And they have a bunch of different stuff like that are based off of characters, based off of levels from past games. Some of the restaurants are literally named after different movesets and other stuff like that. It is phenomenal how
The-
much they pack
Freaking
on a place
detail.
that you're running so
Literally.
fast.
Oh
Yeah,
my
just the
God.
attention to detail is awesome.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
It's
And the
fantastic, and I love it.
As a Greek person who's actually been to Greece, the architecture is absolutely spot on. It is phenomenal representation of our country. It is
Yes.
it's really good. Yeah, we love to
Nice.
see it. We love to see it. Yeah. It is gorgeous. But yeah. Oh shoot, I did miss one text question.
Well, there's some in the audience who have questions too. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm gonna get to Tails Co's first because Tails Co had a text question. Let's see. It's kind of a little weirdly phrased, but I'll do my best. I think you already answered this, but the question was, what is your favorite Sonic game, but which one is the best?
Oh, okay. Well, let's look at it this way. My favorite Sonic game is Sonic 2. Would I consider
you
Sonic
said
2 to
that,
be
yeah.
the best Sonic game? That's up for debate, really. I mean, I feel personally it's my favorite because it took everything that I loved about the original game and just made it that much better. Now, I know there's also Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is wonderful. And many of my other favorites in there, like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Colors. Heck, this might be a little controversial. I have a soft spot for Sonic Lost World. I always thought Lost World was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's but which one truly is the best? It's really, I think the quintessential Sonic experience. I really only have one answer for that. If I'd say like, what is truly the best, and you're gonna be like, oh, of course, G picks a 2D Sonic. Yes, of course I'm gonna pick a 2D Sonic when it comes to that, because like 2D, I love 3D Sonic, but I love 2D Sonic that much more. Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I was about to say Sonic Mania. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Hands down, as far as like the most well-crafted Sonic game out there. If you want to say what is the quote-unquote best, I would say it is Mania. Is it my favorite? Mm-mm. But I'd probably say it's the most well-crafted Sonic game out there. Sonic
Mania's-
Generations being a very, very close second.
Mania's soundtrack is so good.
T-Lopes, man. T-Lopes.
T-Lopes,
Oh, my
man.
T-Lopes.
God.
Oh, he
T-Lopes.
was so
We
good.
love
good.
I got to see-
Yeah.
I got to see T-Lopes live in, what was that, 2019, a Sonic and Sega Fan Jam. I think it was it's either 2018 or 2019. I don't remember which year it
it's
was.
2019.
I think it was
the one you're talking
19.
about,
I believe it was. I think it was the year before 2020. So I think it was 19. And he tore the house down. He tore it up. It was awesome.
Not
It
surprised.
was awesome. So I was like, man, he just does amazing stuff like that. And his soundtrack for Petty's Big Breakaway, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which is a wonderful game. It's just on fire. And Mania was just, it was the perfect Sonic game that we needed at the I'm not saying it's a perfect game. I'm just saying that it's the perfect game that we needed at that time. This was the candle that was the start of the rejuvenation of Sonic with Sonic Mania. That was the
it's
candle.
it's kind of like Animal Crossing New Horizons. Like, is it the best Animal Crossing game? No, but it did come out at the perfect time, you know?
It was the game that's why I say to everybody, when all the bad stuff in the world was happening at that time, we literally got the two best games that we needed at the time: Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal.
And Doom Eternal, yeah. Do you
We got
remember
the
all the crossover
best games we
drawings?
needed. Yes.
Oh my god,
loved
I
it.
remember all the Isabel.
I loved it.
Isabel, yeah.
Isabel and Doom Guy.
Yeah, the
I
Isabel and Doom
loved
Guy
it.
ones, yeah.
But it was like, it was perfect. If you needed something cozy to kind of, you know, welt the blues away, cool. If you wanted to watch the world burn and destroy everything, you got Doom Eternal. There you go.
Express
Best of both
all your
worlds.
pent-up rage at everything in the world. Go to Doom Eternal. You just need a breather for Bullet. Go back to Animal Crossing. You want to do it again? Go back to Doom Eternal. It's like a loop. It's great.
Yeah, that's a question that I get a lot, though, is like, if I'm playing Sonic, or if there's someone who's playing Sonic for the first time, what should be their first game?
Oh,
And that's what I
that
typically
is a
say to
good
anybody
question.
is, if you want to get started and you prefer like the classic 2D style, I say go with Mania. Like, really, I think that is the best one to start off for 2D. And then for 3D, that's what I typically kind of throw in, because even though it's not fully 3D, because, you know, it's like a half and half, it's like more of the modern Sonic. That's why I would say Sonic Generations. But if you really want to, it might not be the best 3D game, but if you really want the game to hook you into Sonic and the world and the characters of Sonic, to me, it is Sonic Adventure 2. Adventure 2 is the one that hooks you in. That is the one that really hooks you in out of anything.
Yeah, and then
So-
Unleashed can like close the door and throw away the key.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have 10 minutes left, so I'm going to move over to the audience. Now, let's see. Dino Kaiju, come on up.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Dino.
Hello. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day so far, and a
Yeah.
pleasure meeting you, G, as well. Even though I technically made a question in the text, but glad to be here at least on stage.
Hey, great to meet you too.
Yeah.
What you got?
All right. So I actually just I just checked your channel right now, and I also did notice that I don't know if this was asked before, so hence why I'm a little bit late. So I do notice that you also had interviews with some of the voice actors of the Sonic franchise. So, like for example, you did with Jason Griffith, Pete Capella, Kirk Thornton, David Humphrey, etc. So I have to ask: is there any other Sonic voice actor that you wanted to interview for in the future, like whether it be from the games, the TV shows, the movies, or anything in particular?
Oh, excellent question. I would love, so I have a quest that I want to have an interview with every voice of Sonic, like in any capacity. So if I have not had an interview with them yet, I hope to someday have an interview with them, like Jaleel White. I wish, so I have met Jaleel White,
Man.
but I have never had an interview with him.
Oh.
His agent is he's doing his job. He's
Yeah.
doing a good job. Like
Fair.
he's doing his job, but it's very. He was like, oh no, unfortunately, he doesn't really do interviews with like YouTube stuff. And I was like, okay, no, that's perfectly fine. That's
okay.
cool. But it was great to meet
Yeah.
him. It was really great to meet him. But maybe someday, maybe that might change. Who knows? Like him, Martin Burke, Devin Mack, and of course Ben Schwartz. He's like, oh, of course, Ben Schwartz. Like those will all be. If I could meet all of them and like do an interview with each of them, then I feel like that's a portion of my creator life complete. And any other voices of Sonic that come down the road. Because I did interview Ryan Drummond. His video is not released yet. I'm still working on it. But I did interview him. But yeah, I would love to meet the rest of them. Heck, I met Devin Mack through Twitch. He raided into me one day. And it was so funny.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
He is. And he was just like, it's like Mac Attack Mac. It's like, is that the real Devin Mack? It's like, yeah, it is. Oh,
That
like, very
is
nice.
great.
That him? I was like, that was so cool.
Awesome.
That was
He's
so
a
cool.
menace
So
in Mario Kart. I will say this live. He is, and he knows he is. He
Oh, great.
Yeah.
He's a menace in Mario Kart. He's
crazy.
really
would've
sweet
thought-
though. He's so fun.
Who would have thought
Right?
that Prime Sonic is an expert at Mario Kart?
Yeah.
It's so unassuming
Yeah.
until you realize they're behind you and tosses an item, and it always hits you no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Right?
And
It's
you're like,
that
how
dang
are
good.
you doing this? How do you keep doing this?
Yeah.
But that would be my first quest. Any other Sonic voice actors I would love to meet that I have not gotten the chance to meet yet. Like I would love to meet because I almost had the chance to interview Dan Green. He unfortunately was really busy at Game On Expo, so I couldn't interview him. So, but maybe in the future, some year for him, like I would love to interview him. Nika Futterman, the voice of Six the Badger.
Yes.
Now, there's a
Yeah.
possibility that one might happen. That may happen because there is a convention that I'm going to be at later this year that she is there, and I'm working it as part of the programming team. So maybe that might happen. I
Nice.
hope so because I love Sticks. So I just love to like
Yeah.
pick her brain about it. Sonic Boom,
Yeah,
my
she's
favorite
got-
Sonic cartoon. So
Oh, really?
and I would love to actually have an interview with. I didn't mention him in my list of Sonic people. Shame on me, Roger Craig. I think the reason why I
Yeah.
didn't mention him
Yeah.
is because I've done 2 of his panels. So I've met him and I've talked with him, but I haven't done a one-on-one with him. And I would love to do like a one-on-one at some
Oh.
point. And there was one that was on my brain and it now kind of slipped my mind. And I'm trying to think of it right now. Oh, Kyle Hebert and John St. John, the voices of Big. 2 of the voices of Big. I've met one.
Ooh.
I met one with Ian Hanlon, but now John St. John and Kyle Hebert. I would love to interview both of them, especially because Kyle Hebert and I kind of go back like a ways away. When so where I live in Houston, there used to be something called Anime at the Alamo, where they would show free anime at the Alamo Draft House every Tuesday night, and the team from ADV Vision, now Sentai, and Funimation used to come by and they would have their crew and they would have some of the voice actors there. And Kyle Hebert was one that would like kind of routinely would show up until he moved.
Awesome.
Because like Funimation and everything moved. So yeah, I would love to interview those. So that's the short list. I mean, I could go on for literally like another 20 minutes, but those are the main
Yeah.
ones that I
That's
want to
understandably so.
interview too. But yes, great question. Thank you.
Yeah,
no
thank you for the
problem.
question, Dino.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, have fun with the rest of the Q&A, and I'll talk to you soon. Have fun.
Thank you. Take care.
Of course. Yeah. So we do. Oops, I accidentally invited you to speak again. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, whoopsies. I'm very good at my job. Anyways, we do have 5 minutes left in this panel. So before we close everything off, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you?
Oh, absolutely. So you can find me at GToTheNextLevel. I'm pretty much everywhere. So like Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter/X, Threads, Facebook. If you like, I'm a lot more active. Like when it comes to social media, like out there, I'm a lot more active on Blue Sky and Instagram. So those are really like the 2 best places to find me out of anywhere else. And YouTube updates, I pretty much upload roughly about 3 shorts a week on my shorts feed. I'm trying to get back into the habit now that things are starting to slow down a little bit, and I'm getting back into the regimen of doing long form editing. I'm going to hopefully have a new long form video like every 2 weeks. The plan is that this weekend I'm going to put out the panel video that I did with Jason Griffith and Erica Schroeder at Game On Expo. So that's going to go out this weekend.
Nice.
And her one-on-one interview will go out a little bit later. And then the next iteration of my Growing Up Genesis A to Z series on YouTube about the part 2 about the 32X will be after that. So I'm going to try to put out a new long-form video minimum every 2 weeks. There might be more. Depending on if I have the time and I have the ability to do it, then I'd like to do more. But basically, that's the plan. That's the plan from there. And then Twitch, I stream 4 days a week, Saturdays through Tuesdays on Twitch, and Saturdays my Sonic can take a Saturday nights at 6 o'clock Central. I do various either Sega or Sonic stuff. I'm actually part of the Sonic Rumble creator team, so I'm going to be doing Sonic Rumble for the first time on Saturday. So
that's awesome.
I know it's a shame that it got delayed, but I promise y'all it's going to be good when it comes out. Like it's going to be good.
I was a beta tester
Oh, nice.
for Sonic Rumble. Yeah, so I can say the beta test was really fun. I am looking forward to it when it releases.
Nice. So then I've got that. And then Sundays through Tuesdays, either at 12 o'clock Central or at 6 o'clock Central, depending on the time. That's when I do my Growing Up Genesis from A to Z series, where we're doing all the Genesis games from A to Z in mostly alphabetical order. And right now we're on the letter R. I'll be back doing that on Sunday with a personal favorite Genesis game of mine that I know backwards and forwards. It's a mech action game called Ranger X. That's going to be up on deck on Sunday, and then I believe Red Zone is after that. So, and then throughout the rest of the week, yeah, that's basically where you can find me. Oh, I'm on TikTok too. I didn't even mention TikTok, but yeah, I'm on there too.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok too, I guess. Yeah. Well, thank you all for coming. I suppose I should mention all of the stuff coming up since we do have like 3 minutes left. So tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. there will be a cartoon night for Sonic Revolution. Tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time there will be RevoTunes. It's going to be Mother's Day themed, and then Leah's going to be showing cartoons that celebrate mothers. Yay, we love our moms. Yippee.
Nice.
Cute.
So, and then after that, Saturday, May 10th, we do have a Q&A panel coming up with Chris Dobbins, hosted by Chris and Radar. Yeah! It's going to be really awesome. If you're a fan of Sonic IDW, definitely go check that out. It is going to be a great panel coming up. And yeah, that's basically, that's it. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Yeah.
Listen, thank you for having me. Thanks everybody for coming in for your questions too. Appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming in, honestly. It was lovely to meet you and lovely to get to know you and the stuff that you do. All the stuff that you're doing is very impressive, and it's just good to see more people so passionate within this community sharing that with other people, because that definitely is really hard for a lot of people. But the fact that you do it and you have done it for so long and still have the drive to do so, very commendable. Very commendable.
That's why I always say it's like the fire within me is still burning on it. As long as I have the means to do it and people are enjoying it, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'll always find something new. Okay.
Well said. Well said.
Well said. Well, thanks for coming, and until next time, we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Be you and be awesome. As I always say. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.